Why don't Canadians have group sex?
Why?
Too many thank you notes.
Whoa, Canada. Eager for more time with wife Téa Leoni, David Duchovny has said this will be his last season in Vancouver, where the years he spent shooting The X-Files seem to have taken their toll.
The daily grind of the television show is really hard.
Going once more, right away. Lock it up.
And we're in the 5th year now, and you know, I just want to make sure that we do justice to what we've already done.
Duchovny's Mulder is an FBI man assigned by the government to investigate the paranormal.
Unidentified flying objects. I think that fits the description pretty well. Tell me I'm crazy.
Mulder, you're crazy.
Along with his partner, Emmy Award winner Gillian Anderson, whose skeptical Dana Scully keeps tabs on Mulder on and off the case.
Is this why we came out here, Mulder? To look for UFOs? Yeah, this is going to look real good on my field report.
You've had some fun with the show, obviously.
Yeah, well, they like to make fun of my nose a lot on the show. Skinner is just rubbing my nose in this one. I think it's anti-Semitism myself. But, you know, we'll deal with that later.
How about the scrutiny on yourself personally? What was the arc of your feelings about that?
Well, the initial arc was, oh, somebody likes me. You know, like, estrogen brigade. Does that mean I have high estrogen? What are they saying exactly? The initial response is flattery, and that maybe you and Scott Baio would be mentioned in the same breath, you know, something that you never dreamed of. And then you move from flattery to kind of an eerie quality of enough already, you know, let's just concentrate on other things. Please don't watch so closely. Please don't think about me. And they're like, oh my God, I'm that important?
Do you believe in, like, the same thing Mulder's believes in?
I'm more of a show me. Yeah, I'd believe in a UFO or an alien if it landed on my head. And then you realize that you're just an excuse for these people to get together. And they'll even say that to me now. You know, we came together to discuss the show or to discuss you, but now we're all friends. I realize that I'm like, I'm an icebreaker.
You're a Nick Game.
I'm a Nick Game.
Yeah.
Guys got sports. The Estrogen Brigade has me. If you take a picture like that, then you're not thinking. Oh, my God.
Scott Baio took a lot of shots like that.
I certainly wasn't thinking that I'd be sitting in this seat looking at this picture 8 years later. I always feel like anything that happens in my life, you know, if I see this interview or if I see me on a magazine, it's like what you used to do at Times Square where you put your friend's face on the cover of Time. It always feels like that for me. It's like somebody's joking. You know, Man of the Year, David Duchovny.
This year has certainly offered Duchovny his share of excitement. He won a Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Dramatic Series.
I was here about 7 years ago. I wasn't nominated. I wasn't even working. The oddest thing about the memory is that we had better seats on that night.
Married comedic supernova Téa Leoni, and even got nominated for an Emmy for his appearance on HBO's The Larry Sanders Show.
Do you think David Duchovny is gay?
We're looking at the Emmy nominees for the guest starring comedy thing.
That's okay. I'm not gay. I'm also straight.
Well, I'm glad we talked
You know,
about
but sometimes I do wish that I was gay recently because I find you very attractive.
And I didn't know the other nominees, and it was Sid Caesar, Jerry Stiller, James Earl Jones, and Mel Brooks who won. And then me. And it seemed like a joke.
It's definitely a heterosexual feeling, but it's directed at you. It's very confusing.
It was ridiculous. Here you have these 4 legends, and then there was a picture of me. It was like that Times Square thing. Of all the things that have happened, or of all the things I've done, I think I'll like save that page, because that was just amazing to me, that I would even be on the page with these guys.
Well, I'm sorry I'm not going to be on the show with you.
What are you talking about?
No, my agent called, said the network went ballistic, and they put me back on with Jon Stewart.
God damn it!
God, you're really upset, aren't you?
It's fearlessness to be able to make a fool of yourself, basically, because it's the fine line. You know, it's being that funny physically or being caught trying to be funny. Nothing worse. For instance, I watch my wife work and I see her physical daring, and I'm inspired by that.
No, I am not smoking, Mother. Look, I gotta go. He's here. Yeah, he knows.
I guess that would be my greatest fear, and my greatest challenge would be to do the kind of work that she does.
Duchovny has his own way of being physically daring, and while 1998's X-Files movie doesn't figure to include any big-time romance, he does take a few risks.
Sex in an X-Files movie is not really probably going to happen unless it's some weird, kinky green gooey stuff. So I'm injured at some point in the movie, and I'm in a hospital gown, and I go up to go to the bathroom, and like my ass is hanging out. So, like, I don't think that's terribly sexy, but you know, that's how we do it now. I loved it because it's totally gratuitous. You know,
Can you give us any hint on what happens in the movie?
in the true X-Files tradition, it resolves some things and opens up some things at the same time. So the questions that have been going on for 5 years by the time the movie comes out, the conspiracies that we've hinted at and tried to uncover, some of those will be uncovered completely, and yet under these conspiracies are more conspiracies. But I wouldn't give it away. I think it makes sense. It's a great culmination of 5 years of hard work on a TV show.
When we come back, David dishes on his new movie, Playing God.
You know, Eugene, you've got to embrace your criminal self.
Maybe he doesn't have a criminal self.
Well, I would say that whether or not he had one to begin with, events have conspired to give him one now.
It's not my criminal self that I'm worried about.
Here.
What's this?
It's $10,000.
For what?
For stepping into a fray, my friend, and using your considerable medical skill to save one of my special friends.
Playing God. Even the title plays to its star's ironic sensibility, offers David Duchovny his first crack at carrying a movie, one in which his character battles a drug habit and a guilty conscience.
This is an interesting guy to play, an interesting story. It's about a doctor a surgeon who's got a drug problem and loses a patient and then loses his license.
How'd you lose your license?
I was operating on a patient, and the patient died.
Was it your fault?
You could say it was my fault.
But when the doctor finds himself in a seedy bar in the middle of a life-or-death situation, he decides to lend a hand.
As long as punctured, I need a clean knife and some clean towels. Get him up on the table. Sterilize that.
Did you like taking on the vanity of the surgeon, the way they regard their hand?
Well, you know, it's funny because you always see in the movies doctor cliches. And, you know, as an actor, you don't want to do them. So I'm like, I don't want to hold my hands up here. I'm going to, like, have my hands down here. And they go, well, no, actually, they hold their hands up here because anything below the waist is not sterile. You know, whenever you see a doctor in the operating room like this, it's not like this TV cliche.
Everything below the waist is not sterile?
Well, don't we all know that? I mean, you learn that in high school, but doctors actually have to practice that way.
But it's the combination of his doctor work and also his addiction that lands him kidnapped.
Is kidnapping the only way you can make new friends?
It's just I was so knocked out by what you did last night. I said, I gotta meet this guy. That's it. That's all there is to it. Medical science amazes me.
What do you want from me?
Postmodern bad guy Raymond Blossom is played by Oscar-winning Timothy Hutton, whose character offers Duchovny a way back into the life he once loved.
I can make you a doctor again.
I am not a doctor. If I practice medicine, I go to jail.
I'm giving you license.
It's a very different role for Tim Hutton, isn't
Yeah.
it? There's a lot of bravado in there.
Yeah.
Why, Delilah?
Not the sweet young boy.
No.
I'd like to be more in control. Yes. Why? So people can quit worrying about me.
Is it fun for you to go up against him?
Yeah. It's funny how that, like, innocent boy gleam became a demonic gleam. You know, it was the same twinkle, but I don't know what he did with it. You know, he kind of put a little twist on the twinkle. And, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to work with.
You think I'm criminal?
I think you're about as much a criminal as I am a doctor.
And he seemed to be really relishing the chance to be a little more demented with the clothes and the language and stuff all the way
Those
back.
clothes, you know, usually you want to buy some of your wardrobe. I don't know if Tim actually bought the wardrobe. There's a lot of silks, a lot of flowing, a lot of Japanese influence. He was quite the fashion plate in this film.
Hooked up with the villain
Is Eugene a full partner now?
He's as much outlaw as we are, baby.
and curing criminals to fuel his drug jones, Duchovny's doctor takes more than a professional interest in Raymond's girlfriend.
I want my girl back.
Played by actress Angelina Jolie, real-life daughter of actor John Voight.
The shame of it is that you have the most beautiful lips that utter the filthiest words. How could you degrade yourself? How could you?
And soon finds that other people need his services as well.
In the last week, I've got a moat full of dead people here.
You want me to get Raymond for you?
The ride began, but there was no reason for him to get off because it wasn't a fun ride, but it was just like, well, you know, what the hell? I'll just see I'll just see where this goes.
I'm not gonna stop the car. No, this is a car chase. We can't just stop.
Duchovny seems very much at home in the self-referential world created for him by Playing God's director, Andy Wilson.
I couldn't even get an American director. I mean, that's how bad it is. I had to get an English director.
They're cheap.
Not all of them, just him. I thought Andy is just a great choice as a director. Sometimes you'd go into the scene and it seemed to be that this was about, you know, the dancing girls by the campfire, not about the scene at all. But I think that Andy was able to, like, take the piss out of that a little bit and make it ironic and funny and make it, you know, a little Pulp Fiction-y and put in some colorful characters and things like that. And I think his irreverence was really helpful.
And David, action.
How about the adventure elements for you? Was that a fun part of this adventure also?
Yeah, I got a gun and I had to aim it at people and things like and run around. Even though, you know, unlike the X-Files, they didn't put any, they didn't give me rubber soles, so when I run around, it's pretty tough. So you might want to notice that it's, I don't run quite as well.
A lesson for all of us as we do our action film.
Especially if you're running on carpeted floors. You want to put a little tape on the soles.
Some soul-searching about the nature of playing God left Duchovny with some questions to think about. Questions he hopes the audience will be left asking long after they leave the theater.
Now here's a guy who, he's great at what he does, and yet he's screwed up, and he can't do it anymore. Do you do what you've been put on earth to do, even though you know, it may not be legally correct at that point, or do you stand back and, you know, let somebody else tell you that you can't do it anymore? So I like that dilemma. He's dead.
Fix him.
I'll see what I can do. The moral questions are not that clear. You know, is a doctor who's not supposed to practice immoral for helping somebody who needs to be helped? Or is a doctor immoral for helping a killer? You know, do we save the lives of killers? So all these questions come in, and I like them all. Is that good?
I think you're free to go.
Oh, wait, I'm like Carrot Top here. I brought a prop.
Oh, okay. Go right ahead.
Tell me if you think these are funny. These are my new glasses.
That's very nice.
Is that funny to you?
You look like an architect.
Then what you do is, like, when you want to be sad, you kind of twist the eyes to a sad expression. This is how we're going to act in the future. Here, put them on and
thank you.
Try to be sad. See? Aren't they great?